Hello, mi gente, and welcome to Espanglish. What a week. So, as per usual, it's been a crazy week, but I want to talk about and I'm talking about today, Sunday. Happy Easter to everybody. Felices Pascuas. Feliz Domingo de Resurrección. Anyways, and all that good stuff. Our president, our orange monstrosity in charge, tweeted today, let's look at it real quick so we don't misquote him, something that he loves to do. Well, this morning he said happy Easter in all caps, and not long afterwards he said Mexico is doing very little, if not nothing, at stopping people from flowing to Mexico to the southern border and then into the US. They laugh at our dumb immigration laws. They must stop the big drug and people flows, or I will stop their cash code. NAFTA, need wall. Later, he said, no more DACA deal. And he mentioned caravans in his tweet because he was watching probably a Fox News report. I don't really take his tweets very seriously anymore. Unfortunately, he's the president, so even his tweets are crazy, and it's mainly he just watched something from Fox News and he's upset about whatever they're talking about. He's still the president, and his tweets unfortunately matter a little more than his usual rants. The dumbest thing that he tweeted was, later on this morning, he said, this big flows of people are all trying to take advantage of DACA. They're wanting on the act, exclamation point. And I guess our president, well, I don't guess, I know he doesn't know because he doesn't care, that nobody can take advantage of DACA. You have to be a resident of the U.S. since 2007 to take advantage of DACA. You have to be here living in this country since 2007. So nobody coming in now can apply for DACA. That's not how it works. So our president doesn't know the laws, which is obvious. He doesn't know anything. He just likes to fearmonger and scare, racist, old, prejudiced white people who are like, oh, the immigrants are coming. They're going to claim DACA. Well, it doesn't work that way, guys. I don't find it even ironic anymore that he tweeted happy Easter and a couple hours later he's hating on immigrants, going crazy about the wall and saying no more DACA. Of course, on a day that we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus, who was, hated by his own people, who was a stranger in many ways. He lived in Egypt as a foreigner. And of course, in a day like today, our president goes and discriminates and shows hatred towards people who are coming to this country for a better life. The fact that people think this person is a Christian and they claim him as a Christian is beyond me. It really is. The thing I want to talk about today, it's about another well-known racist, Steve King from Iowa. Steve King's Facebook page, he said he didn't do it himself, which I believe him because a lot of those guys don't manage their own social media. But somebody in his campaign, and he actually supported the after the fact, so it's the same thing, had a meme with Emma Gonzalez from Parkland. She was wearing, if you haven't seen it, she's wearing kind of like like a jacket of sorts, and she has a lot of patches. She has a lot of badges on there. One of the patches is the Cuban flag, and the meme from Steve King's campaign says, this is how you look when you claim Cuban heritage, yet don't speak Spanish, and ignore the fact that your ancestors fled the island when the dictatorship turned Cuba into a prison camp after removing all weapons from its citizens, hence the right to self-defense. First of all, I have a Cuban flag at home. I have a Cuban flag keychain. The Cuban flag does not represent the dictatorship. It does not represent the communist country. It represents the Cuban people. That's what the flag represents. I mean, people here love the flag so much, they should know by now. That doesn't matter who's in office. What matters is the nation. So just go away with that BS, please. That's the first thing. Second of all, just because you don't speak Spanish does not make you less Cuban. Her family, for whatever reason, chose not to teach her Spanish. That doesn't make her less Cuban. Your roots and your DNA, your heritage, and your culture is part of you, not the language itself. It's more than just language. Yeah, it's a shame she doesn't speak Spanish because I think it's important to be bilingual, but doesn't make it less Cuban. Doesn't make it less part of our heritage. So that's second of all. Third of all, the Cuban government did more than take away guns. They took away freedom of liberty, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion. So, yeah, don't even go there. First of all, the Parkland kids and most of us are not calling for banning all guns or taking people's guns away. That's only something that Fox News peddles to get people afraid. But all we're asking is for reasonable gun control laws, universal background checks, banning AR-15s or weapons of the like, etc. And the list is out there. That's what she's asking. But of course, it's easy to, create a strawman argument and just come up with some BS thing saying that we want to take our guns away and Emma is one of them, which is she's not. She's never said that. And the Parkland kids, at least the majority, the most vocal ones, have not said that. It's just, again, another Fox News thing to scapegoat and to completely change the conversation. But it's not working because these Parkland kids are smart and they're the best at social media. So to recap for you, Steve King and your cronies, wearing the Cuban flag wherever you wear it does not represent the Cuban government. It represents the people. So screw yourself for that, okay? Do not come in with that crap because I'm proudly Cuban and I'll wear a Cuban flag if I want to tomorrow. And I'm not communist and I'm anti-communist. So, yeah. This is what happens when you cannot attack their message, gun control. You attack the messengers and you're losing. I saw this tweet from whoever, I don't know who it was. But it said when you attack the kids and the school teachers who suffer the mass murder, when you attack them, you're losing your argument. And you are, Steve King, and all of you guys. And that's what pisses you off. You're losing. We have momentum on our side. We have history on our side. And guess what? Things are going to change because you guys are going to get voted out. This is more than just a moment. It's just a movement. People are getting registered. And you're going to see that a lot of these kids are going to show up and vote. A lot of their parents are. A lot of their friends are. We are your worst nightmare. And we're coming for you. I don't know when Steve King's up for re-election. But I hope somebody challenges him. And I hope that person wins. And I have no doubt if somebody runs whenever he's due, somebody else is going to beat him. I don't know how Iowa is. I don't know how white it is and how people vote. But I have no doubt the momentum is shifting. And Steve King is afraid. And he should be afraid. Either he changes with the times or he stays behind. Another thing is like this crazy right-wing people did is they took an image of Emma Gonzalez tearing up a shooting target and then they doctored the image to make it look like she was shredding the Constitution. And man, this spread on the internet like wildfire. People were like, I told you, see? She's trying to take away our rights, the Constitution. And instead of doing some fact check, like going to a reputable news source, New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, heck, even Fox News. Yeah, I even said that. I mean, they're not reputable, but they wouldn't have peddled this crap because at least they have some semblance of integrity in some, some programs. They run away with their biases, and since the image supports what they already believe, they just share it. And that's what's wrong with America today. People don't fact check anymore on both sides. They just see something that appeals to them, that it makes sense in their worldview, and they think that's okay to click that share button or that like, or even make a comment saying, I told you so, look at that, she hates this country, blah blah. Just PSA, before you click share or like, make sure that it's coming from a legitimate news source. Don't become part of the problem. The Russians already did a lot to hurt us by disinformation. The last thing we need is to show them how dumb we are, really, because overall, obviously, we're pretty dumb in this country when that things get shared so many times by so many people. Please, right wingers, left wingers, middle wingers, do some research. Do not just click on like or share. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Again, if you like what I'm doing here and you want to get more exclusive content, you want to be part of really the movement that we're creating here, go to patreon.com/Espanglish, the name of the show, and you can, for $1 a month, you can get some pretty cool exclusive content. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you so much. Until next time.